So Kylie, do you want to go ahead and introduce who we have coming in?
Yep, we have York Twinning and we have Elizabeth and Doug Stein, who are the co-presidents of this organization.
All right. And I guess it's Betty. Is that what you prefer?
Betty.
Betty. Okay. All right.
Yes, I go by Betty.
Betty and Doug, welcome. Let's give a warm round of applause to Betty and
you.
Doug. Thank you for being here. So it's funny. Last year, I didn't know anything about York Twinning, admittedly, but we were doing the live stream, and it was former Mayor Helfrich.
Yes.
He's a
yes.
big supporter of you guys.
Yes, he
Came
is.
in and said. He didn't say, but for all intents and purposes, the mayor says, "Hey, I need to get on. You just make it work." So, you know,
And he made it work,
Yeah,
yes.
he made it work. So, yeah, if you want to take a second, introduce yourselves and talk to us about York Twinning and what it means.
Okay, great. Well, my name is Betty Stein, and this is my husband, Doug Stein. We're co-presidents of the York Twinning Association, and the York Twinning Association was founded in 1954. My father, John Rawhauser, actually wrote the charter for the York Twinning Association, and it was as a result of after the Cold War, Eisenhower wanted to have relations with other countries that were friendly. And so he worked with a group called People to People, and there was a superintendent at the York City schools. Her name was Dr. Victoria Lyles, and she was promoting languages in the elementary schools. And so she worked with that program to get a French program in York in the elementary schools. And they had an exchange teacher. It started as an exchange. She had an exchange teacher come over here, and that was Marguerite Erickson. And she was from Arles, France. And then we had exchange teachers from York go over to Arles. And so they taught English in France, and she taught French here in English. And for years, that was an exchange program between teachers. About 1975, that's when they took the language programs out of the elementary schools. But because the twinning and the exchanges were something that was a very popular idea between people at that time, and there weren't as many opportunities to travel as there are now. They decided that they were going to keep that, and so they started having adult exchanges. And they had groups of adults come from Arles to York, and then in a rotation, then York people would go to Arles. And people made a lot of friendships during that time. That came around for a long time until we had our bicentennial, and then they decided they wanted another sister city or twin city, and so they reached out to Leinfeld-Echterdingen, Germany. And so now we have another twin city in Leinfeld-Echterdingen, Germany,
Wow.
and those relationships started about 1982.
Wow.
Yeah.
And obviously, this predates the internet. So you're legitimately talking like pen pal
Yes.
like
yes.
activity
Wow.
here. So, which is like the coolest thing.
Yes, and the program has had thousands of people involved between the adults that were here and went there, and the students that were there that came here. Between those exchanges, we've actually had thousands of people that participate. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I think it's fantastic to hear that it's endured, this level of modernization, which you're probably taking advantage of still to this day, but to have those analog grassroots, I think it's fantastic.
Yes, it's been over 72 years with Arles and over 40 years with Leinfeld-Echterdingen in Germany.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
so it's
amazing.
been great.
That is.
Yeah, some people think this is just international travel, and that's true. It is international travel, but more importantly, it's international friendships. That's why it got started after the war. Betty's family was very involved with it, and I started dating Betty when we were teenagers, and that's when I first was exposed to it. And we were involved ever since we've been married. And as we got older and older, we got more involved. We've hosted people. We've had parties at our house.
Yeah.
But it's so unique that we have all these international friendships. But it's also individuals. For example, my wife was 5 years old when the first couple came from France and visited Mimi and Peter Gerard. And since then, we've been back to visit Mimi. And the last time we were there, we had our two oldest grandchildren with us. And so that was the fourth generation of our family that was in her house. when I met her.
Wow.
And each generation has been in her house. Some of them have stayed there, others have just visited. So it is about international friendships and continuing. We still exchange cards with her and back and forth, as well as a lot of other people over there. Betty mentioned about the teachers and about the adults. We also started student exchanges. I don't know the exact year, but it's been probably 25 years or so. And we literally have the students going back and forth each year, both directions, to Germany and France.
Wow.
Sometimes more than others. Of course, COVID really put a dent in us. It was hard to travel during COVID, so it took a year or two to get things back. But I think we have like 17 going to Germany this year. We only have one going to France, and we have one coming, and maybe not so sure on the France. But there are ups and downs. We have slumps and we have highs. But typically, for the exchanges, it's usually about 20 people to go each way. The adult exchanges are a rotating basis. It's every 4 years.
Okay.
We go somewhere or have somebody here, depending on it. So, but it's a lot of fun to get to know people. And then today's technology, we're texting back and forth on WhatsApp with people and sending pictures back and forth, and it's instant communication.
Instant, right? Yeah, halfway
Yeah.
across the globe, and they
Yeah.
get it in
Yeah,
a
it's
second. So
amazing. Yeah.
It is amazing.
And it's
So,
people you know. It's not like just
Right.
a stranger. It's somebody you've stayed in your house and you get to know them. And we're trying to encourage that. We've given out, I think, it's about $1,700 in scholarships a year to students.
Wow.
We're trying to build up our funds. We'd like to eventually build an endowment through the York County Foundation
Okay.
for student exchanges. The adult exchanges, we try to, charge a little extra so we have some money when the others, people from the other countries come here.
Yeah.
But we are trying to build an endowment so we can continue student exchanges no matter what the funding we have that year, and continue to give scholarships.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, one
Wow.
of the things they were talking about, the connections of the teachers. Recently, we got an email from a man who had gone over to Arl as the last teacher from York going to Arl as a teacher. And he asked if we knew a certain Frenchman. And when we were over in 2023, we actually had met this man.
Ah,
So we had a contact number, and I contacted him, and now the two of them, after 50 years, are connecting again. And they're
Wow.
hoping maybe in October to meet each other after 50 years to come back to York. So
That's
there's some of those
amazing.
connections. When we were there in 2023 in Arl, there was a lady that came up to me with an envelope, and she said, "Can you find this person? This person came to our house and stayed with us." Well, that was how many years ago? We did track her down. She's now a doctor in Arizona, and we tracked her down, and now she's in touch with her host family. So it's a really, really cool thing. It's
That
a really
is. Well, Betty, Doug, I these stories I'm enamored with. I could probably listen to y'all's like little neat stories about that like all night. So we want to appreciate, or we want to thank you both for coming here today, being a part of Give Local York. Thank you both so much for being here, and we want to raise a glass on behalf of the York Water Company and toast to them and toast to you all with the York Twinning Association. Thank you all for what you do and for what you've done.
Thank you. And we hope people will donate to York Twinning through your Give Local York.
Absolutely.
YorkTwinning.com.
And yep, there you go. YorkTwinning.com, givelocalyork.org. Go check them out. And before we go, real quick, you want to take a stab and press your luck at the ripple effect?
Sure.
All right, come back over here and see what luck swings your way.
So what do we do with this ripple effect?
So you're gonna like kind of gingerly kind of poke through the tissue paper here. That one might still be there. I don't know if you want to try that one or you can want to try one of the ones down here.
Down
And
here?
then there's gonna be a little note card in there, and that's gonna dictate your prize.
Okay. Do you want to put your hand through at the same time? Yep, do it together. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
All right, so it might have gone through, and might be caught up in there somewhere.
It is
Oh, you got
right
it.
Here. Oh, $100.
$100 to your twinning, y'all. That's awesome. So congratulations, you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so
thanks.
much for being
thank you.
here.
Thank you.
Absolutely. No, appreciate it. Thank you both. GiveLocalYork.org. Give Local York 2026.
.com.
We're .org.
Oh, okay.
Go look up York Twinning Association on the website. Find out more about them. Find out about donating